Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You must have watched the video earlier to this in which we have discussed different types of the verbs, and generally we have talked about the verbs too. Along with that, we have talked about the lexical verb, the modal auxiliary verb, or the auxiliary verb. After this, in this video, we'll talk about the regular and the irregular verbs, which are the types of verbs in the lexical category. In this, we will talk about the objectives of the video. First of all, later on we'll talk about the general introduction to the regular or the irregular verbs. After that, we will explain the regular verb, what basically the regular verb is. Along with that, we'll talk about the rules, the spelling rules of the regular verbs, how to change or regular verb to different forms. For the irregular verb, there will be a little bit introduction. Along with that, there will be list of regular verbs and the list of irregular verbs. After watching this video, you will know about the regular verbs. You will learn the definition. You will learn the usage of the regular verbs in sentences. You will know about irregular verbs. Along with that, you will learn the spelling rules for changing the regular verb to different forms. You learn the spelling rules for changing irregular verbs. You will learn different types of the regular verbs, and you will differentiate between different types of irregular verbs. First of all, there is the problem of the verb, that what basically a verb is and what are the different forms of the verb. So generally we're talking about this problem. All verbs, whether regular or irregular, have five forms, often called principal parts. There are basically, of every verb, there are basically five principal parts, which are the infinitives, the simple present, simple past, past participle, and present participle. These are the five basic forms of a verb. The difference between a regular and an irregular verb is the formation of the simple past and past participle. There is no basic difference between, there is no difference in the meaning of them. A regular verb is a verb that ends in ed, as does the past participle form, and in the present in the past form and in the past participle form. A verb that ends in ed in the past form and the past participle form is called the regular verb. Whereas examples are there: the play, played, played; walk, walked, walked. Walk is the present form. Walked, the second one, is the past form, and the third one is the past participle. So you can see walked and walked are ending in ed. Same is the case here with the check, checked, checked, and so on. In contrast, the simple past and past participle of irregular verbs can end in a variety of ways with absolutely no consistent pattern. There is no special pattern for changing irregular verbs to different forms. There will be the present form, the past form, or the past participle form of the irregular verbs too, but there won't be any specific rule, just like we have talked about the regular verbs which are ending in ed. So there is no specific rule or pattern for changing irregular verbs. Therefore it is called irregular, because it's not a regular. It doesn't follow any certain consistent pattern or absolute rules, etc. Just like you can see here, drink is the present form, so drink, the past form drank, and the past participle form change into drunk. Same is the case here. You can see with the speak, spoke, spoken. Whereas you can see another verb, cut, cut, cut. All three forms are the same. So in the first verb, we are changing the first, second, third forms. In the second verb, we are also changing speak, spoke, spoken. All the three forms are different, while in the cut, 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 all the three forms are the same. We love it. There is another verb, run, ran, run. The first and the last verbs forms are the same, while the second one, the past one, is different. Another one is also there, feel, felt, felt. The present form is feel, while the past and the past participle form are the same. The last one is there, bear, bore, born. Again, all the three forms are different. So there is basically no absolute pattern, no consistent pattern, no special rule for changing irregular verb. They have no certain rules or specific pattern. Those verbs, now we are talking about the regular verb. What are the irregular verbs? So those verbs are named regular verbs which end with ed in past and past participle form. Those verbs which end in ed in the two forms, they are the past and the past participle form. So those verbs are called the regular verbs. The regular past simple tense and past participle in English language are usually formed by ed ending, just like work, worked, worked, stay, stayed, stayed. It's the same for all person, for all genders, for singular and plural. You can say I started, you can say you started, she started, Ali started, he started, we started. All the subjects are different, but the verbs are not changing. The verbs are all the same. So the regular rules of ed are all the same for every gender, for all the person, whether they are singular or plural. They must end in ed in the past and past participle form. What's the spelling rule for changing the regular verb to different forms? We add d, not ed, to the word that ends in e. In the first stage, we have talked about that we are adding ed to words when we are changing the form from present to past or past participle form. But we are not adding ed, we are just adding, simply we are adding d to those words which are already ending in e, those words of which the last letter is e. So with these words we will be adding only d. For example, like, you can see like is ending in e, so there is no need of writing ed. If you are writing ed, so then this will be awkward. This will look like liked. It will not be liked, it will look like liked. So therefore those words which are ending in e, those verbs which are ending in e, you have to add just d to change the form from present to past or past participle. Another verb is also there, love, loved, advise, advised, back, backed, behave, behaved, compare, compared, move, moved, face, faced, name, named, retire, retired, save, saved, and so on. Another rule for the regular verbs changing is that if the verb ends in a consonant and y, if the last letter of a word is y and y is followed by a consonant letter, we change y into I. For example, carry, carried, try, tried. So look at it. Try is ending in y, but before the y there is a consonant letter r. So therefore y is cut, and by the place of the y we have used I, and ed is added to change its form to past or past participle. Like we say cry, so cry and try are nearly the same. Cry, cried, apply, again y is the last letter and y is followed by l, so applied, rely, so relied, and so on. Another one is but. If the verb ends in a vowel and y, if the last letter of the word is y, just like the previous one, but before the y there is a vowel letter, just like we say a, e, I, o, u. If any of these 5 letters come before a y, so we simply add ed. We will not change y into I. Y will not be removed and only ed will be added. For example, play, so played. Now consider the play. Play is ending in y. The last letter of the word play is y, but y is followed by a vowel letter. So therefore we are not changing y into I. We are only adding ed to change the past or past participle form. Stay, stayed, enjoy, enjoyed, pay, paid, etc. But exception will be there. The case or the formula or the rule will not be applied for the word say. because say will be said. If the regular verb has only one syllable, this is another rule. If any verb, any of the regular verbs which are having only one syllable and ends in a single vowel and a consonant, we double the consonant to keep the same pronunciation. So whatever we have talked about, the single or one syllable word ending in one single vowel and one consonant, so we double the last letter. Look at it, the stop. Stop is one syllable word, stop. Only one vowel sound is there. The last letter is consonant and consonant letter is followed by a single vowel letter. So we double the last letter, stopped, to not change the with this pattern the pronunciation of the word will not be affected much. Stop, so stopped. Fit, fitted. Rub, rubbed. Clap, clapped. Slept, slept, and so on. The same rule applies to verbs with more syllables if the stress falls on the last syllable. If there is such a word which is having more than one syllable but the stress is on the last syllable, so the same formula of doubling the last letter will be applied to those words too. For example, you say admit. So now look at, listen to the pronunciation of the word admit. Admit. There are two syllable. It's a two syllabic word, but the stress falls on the last syllable. Met. Stress is on this. So therefore, the last letter T will be double. Like another one, prefer. Again, the two syllabic word, but the stress is on the last syllable. So therefore, R will be double. I will say refer. Again, two syllabic word, but the stress is on the last letter. Therefore, R is double. Or we say worship, worshipped. In words, another rule for changing the regular forms is there. In words ending in L, those words which are ending in L, the last letter is L, the L is always doubled after a single vowel. If there is a word ending in single vowel and L, so the last letter L will be double. Any word ending in L and L is followed by a single vowel, so L will be double. But US English doesn't usually follow this rule. If you are applying this formula to the US word, so then there will be a spelling error. If mostly when you are typing in your computer, you are typing the word travel, so travel will be spelled TRAVELED. If you type the double L and you have your US dictionary on in your computer, so it will be showing the error in this. For example, the British English mostly follow this rule. So if the word is ending in L and L is followed by a single vowel, so travel will be L will be double, traveled, called, quarreled. Now the irregular verb. There are basically three irregular verb forms in English. And what are they? The base form, for example, draw, lead, read, dream. They are the base form or the present form. The past form, drew, led, read, dreamed. And the past participle form, drawn, led, read, dreamed, or dreamed. Now, what are the spelling rules for the irregular? Let's learn. For irregular verbs, there are no fixed rules. There are no specific rules for changing the present form of the irregular verb into past or past participle. Unlike the regular verbs, they have to be memorized because they do not follow any rules or specific pattern. There is no certain rule to be learned or to be practiced. So therefore, all the irregular verbs must be memorized to not commit any mistakes. In irregular verbs, some of the forms are completely different. Completely different mean all the three forms are different. The present, the past or past participle, all the three forms are different. Draw, drew, drawn, drink, drank, drunk, swim, swam, swam. Now you can see the spellings of all these three forms: draw, drew, and drawn. All the three forms have different spellings. Drink, drank, drunk, again all the three forms have different spelling. So firstly, there are irregular verbs which are completely different. Some have one form different, but the two other ones are the same. Just like lead, led, led. The past and past participle form are the same, but the first one, the best form, is different. Spell, spelt, spelt. The two forms are the same, the first is different. Smell, smelled, smelt. Run, ran, run. The first and last are the same, or the past is different. Some have the same spelling in all the forms. Some are even not changed. The spelling is not even affected, but the pronunciation is. The first one is read. The second one cannot be called read. The second one will be read, and the third one also read. Read, read, read. Spellings will be the same. Cut, cut, cut. Let, etc. So the spellings will not be changed. Thank you.